Greetings, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about narcissists want what they can get. So just like everyday ordinary people, narcissists come in all shapes and sizes, all different kinds of ways and presentations. What it boils down to with the narcissist is they want what they can get from you. They want what they can get from everyone. They want what they can get from the government. They want what they can get from their employer. They want what they can get from the mailman. It doesn't matter who it is. You are not anything except what you can get for them. And oftentimes, they might look at you as a challenge, especially if you've got some knowledge about narcissism or abusive, manipulative behaviors. You might break their monotony, their boredom. Because they always want to dominate. Always. You could have a narcissistic therapist. She wants to dominate you. You could have a narcissistic brother. He wants to dominate you. Doesn't matter what role they play. It doesn't matter what types of interactions you have with this person. They want what they can get. And they look at people or persons as, I want to win. They set up these scenarios all the time. I remember one time in one of my previous jobs working in nonprofit, and one of my coworkers, he was actually pretty funny, but I saw some behaviors from him that kind of like scream narcissism. Anytime I see a person that's bullying people or talking crap about their wife or their brother, or not just normal venting, but actually just talking nasty crap about a loved one, I get suspicious. So back to the winning part. This person used to always say, winning, winning. It was a joke. It was kind of funny, but it made me laugh too, because I feel that persons that are more narcissistic in nature, more manipulative, more abusive, they look at interactions with people as I win, they lose. I win, they lose. It's always, I've seen this so many times. I knew one narcissist who everywhere she went, everything was an argument. It was a big scene. You didn't give me the good service, why did my hair not turn out this way that I wanted? And, it took years later I realized what it was, but then I didn't. But it's always this whole domination. They want what they can get. They want the pay raise. They want the extra time off. They want the sex, even though they're married. They want sex with someone else. They want the food in the break room. They'll take all of it. They have no regard for other people that want a donut or whatever. They want what they can get. Like, they are greedy little buggers. And all of them show up in a different way. They want their father's estate. All of it. They don't want to share. They want all of it. They want you to give them your vehicle free of charge, with no thank you, with no anything. They want to get into all of the nightclubs free. Not because they can't afford it, just because they want that special attention. They want to be in the VIP lounge. They want the extra bottle of champagne. They want. Their wanting is incessant. It's constant. More. More food, more drugs, more alcohol. And this is for the the narcissistic addicts. It's like, because their system is not like ours, their brains are not chemically or physically like ours. They're different. So the way that they fill themselves up is with everything that is external to who they are, external from their body. Like, so in other words, what I'm saying is, everything that they seek is outside of themselves. So it can be smoking marijuana all the time. It could be drinking alcohol all the time. It's like the way they regulate their system. It could be some of the adrenaline junkies that you see. They have to be jumping out of planes or doing bungee jumping and all these things. A lot of them are thrill seekers. But anyways, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. But back to what I started with, is that they want what they can get. And a lot of times, that's why a lot of them do well in sales. Is they learn how to mirror empathic language and get into people's heads, and they are able to really sell very well. It's all done by mirroring, because they are not like us. They might look like us. They might seem like us at times, but they're absolutely not like us. So anytime you meet someone and they're kind of fishing around, asking you a lot of questions about, let's say some of these can be just typical questions that a person might ask you when they just meet you. But it's that whole data collection. They're fishing to see who you are. They might want to know how much money you make. Where do you work? Is it a far drive? Do you have your own apartment? That would be for the guy who wants to move in with you because his girlfriend's kicking him out or whatever. Or his parents are kicking him out, whatever. But it's what they can get from you. So this particular guy, he's not one of the narcissists that's real driven. He likes to parasite and live off other people. So his parents are sick of him, and they're saying, we're going to move, or they're giving him some excuse in why he needs to move out. So now he's looking for some, a woman to move into her house with. It could be too that they want to get the limo rides comped. And a lot of times it's not about the money. It's about, let's see how much these people can, like, I don't want to use fawning over and over, but fawning is a good word. But it's like, how much can they just supplicate and, how much can they give me? How much are they going to, praise me and treat me well and pamper me, and again, it's outside of themselves. So let's say you've got a really, the narcissist has a really good hairdresser. And then they complain about their haircut, because that's what they do. So next time, just to make the narcissist happy, the hairdresser says, okay, I'll give you $50 off your next hairdo or whatever, right? So that's like, they kind of gloat and stuff when if you ever watch them really closely, they'll kind of get this, I guess it's that smug look. Oh my goodness, they live in the smug look because they know that they're manipulating, and when they get their way, they're so pleased with it. So in this case, they got what they wanted. Sometimes it is about money, but a lot of times it's not. Let's see. Let's just say in your workplace, I'm trying to think of what industry. Let's just say computer tech. Let's say it's a whole computer tech industry. I don't know, like software design or something. And the boss sets up a contest of whomever can develop the program for the advertising campaign. Bigger, better, faster. And who does it first? Well, not necessarily first, but they pitch and do create the better product. They win. I'm really not, I'm super against any place having competitions. That's my opinion. But the narcissist is they're gonna jump on that. And let's say you have a narcissist that his skills are not the greatest in computer software design. He's gonna go and get friendly with the other computer tech guy that's really smart in it. He's gonna use him. He's gonna get him to help him to write it up, or just give him ideas and then parasite off him. So again, it's what they can get. And it usually, it's like getting what they want and domination kind of play a dance together, because domination is just intertwined with all of this. It's intertwined. Narcissists want what they want what they can get. They want babysitting, free babysitting. They want dog sitting. They want a car. They want the house that they can't afford. They want the realtor to give them a better deal than other people. They want the tickets to the games that they don't even really need because they don't like basketball. They just want. And a lot of times it's just like they want. It is draining being around these people. Draining. It's always like I had mentioned, their brains operate like machines, which I think a lot of our brains do. But if you watch how the narcissist operates, it's like, it's this, I guess you could say, kind of like a narcissistic program that they've created at some point in their young years. And it's still going. And it's like, if you're in the vicinity of a narcissist, you jump into this narcissistic program or you're out. If you don't go along with the program, you're going to get booted out somehow, or ostracized, or whatever, however it goes. A narcissistic boss. Let's say you're working a retail job. I've worked a few retail jobs, a lot of them actually, throughout my years, and you're working for a real nasty narcissistic manager. That narcissist wants you to work extra hours, take on shifts that you weren't prepared to take a shift even though you had planned that day off at last minute's notice, which we know retail doesn't pay anything. And because they can't think any other way, they will, and they have no empathy, so they will use you until you say, I am over it, fuck all of this, I'm done, and you quit. And workplaces with really high turnover, a lot of times that's it. It's not every single reason is that. And I don't want to ditch every single employer, because it's not always that. There might be a lot of combining factors that makes the turnover high. But they're not able to really think in any other way. They first meet you, and they're gauging you to see what they can get from you. I'll use an example of myself. My previous channel, I had made a really good video about, it was a date from hell. Well, I had a few of them, but this was crazy. And I was kind of, it was during the C-19, the COVID stuff. And it was weird times, And anyways, I ditched this guy like hardcore, really hardcore. But I didn't know he was a narcissist right away. And right away, he was gauging to see how I could help him to build his like he was building this new house or new, whatever it was, this new shack to live on this property. And, oh, you could help me, and I already knew by how he was treating me, because he was rude and nasty and was not respectful, that I hadn't been out of that hip replacement for very long. So I was still really hobbling around. It was bad, man. And he had no empathy. None. But the point that I'm making is that, well, that was a shit test too. That's what Ollie Matthews talks about. They want to test you. But he immediately was seeing things I could do for him. And I was like, I am so out of here. I'm so out of here. They can't help themselves. And a lot of times during the love bombing, not all narcissists love bomb, but a lot of them do. I think most of them do. I don't know. I have no evidence for that. But in the love bombing stage, they are gauging you to see what they can get from you. How can you help clean their house? How can you help paint their house? How can you help them mow their lawn? How you can help them get groceries? And it's not to say these general tasks are bad in and of themselves, but a narcissist, that's all they can see you as. That's all they see you as. It's like you have a little light on you. Use me, use me, use me. I know once, years ago, one of my sisters, rest in peace to her, she had said to her ex-husband, I don't want to be how did she say it? Oh, I don't want to be a doormat anymore. So, and I don't know if he was a narcissist, but it just reminds me of, it's like this expectation that you're just going to do all this stuff for them. You're going to wash their dishes. You're going to scrub their floor. And that's that whole Cinderella syndrome. And I looked and I looked and I looked, trying to find something on Cinderella syndrome. Couldn't find it, but I do know that Ollie Matthews started that. I'm pretty sure that he started that phrase. And the Cinderella syndrome is basically the narcissist that wants to make you a Cinderella, scrubbing her floors, washing her dishes, mowing her lawn, kind of putting herself in the queen position while you're just the servant. You're just a lowly servant. Which honestly, if you go deep into it, our entire, well, I don't know, that's a real broad statement, but like throughout our societies, because you've got all different cultures, the whole like caste system and class system, that's all narcissistic. It's all narcissistic. There's no reason that certain individuals need to be lesser than, and just because, like, it's a big thing in India, I'm going to pick on India a little bit. It's not just India, but they made it all official. And they brought in skin color as well. But it's just very narcissistic. That's all I'm going to say. And I remember I had watched, what is that? Downton Abbey? I don't know if I'm saying it right. I actually really liked that series. One of my friends had told me about it. But it did bother me that all of these people were so subjected to this servitude just so people can have servants, just because they have more money. And all of these people are working like 18-hour days, standing on their feet all day, no medical care. You know, back in those days it was different, but and they just accepted it. It's not just in England, it was everywhere. But it goes back to what they want, what they can get from you. And I really think another way to justify all these kinds of narcissistic dominating behaviors or exalting is justifying it through these systems that, in my opinion, completely suck and subjugate other people to being subservient and lesser than. And I do know a lot of servants, you know, they are treated well, you know, as far as that goes. But I mean, these systems are idiotic. So if you just meet a person and they're trying to scope out a lot of detailed information about you, that's something to be a little bit nervous about. They want to know if you've got your driver's license. You know why they're asking? Because they need rides. Or they need to put the car insurance in your name because they can't afford it, or they have drunk driving on them or something. You know, it's always a manipulation. What can they get from you? I've really seen, as you guys know, I'm a huge advocate for women. All women. All women. And I've really thought a lot about it, and this whole misogyny and the patriarch garbage systems that we're in are all based on narcissism and subservience and domination and abuse. I was listening to Sinead O'Connor. I liked her. She had a lot of really serious issues, but I did like her, and her voice was amazing. But I remember listening to her after she had passed away, and I was listening to some of these, watching some of these videos that she was talking about the dire abuse of women in Ireland. Now, we all know the atrocities that happened in England and Ireland, Scotland, and all that with the Catholic Church and all of the other things that came before it. But I wasn't aware of that, how bad the abuse was toward the women, and their abuses were actually written into law. Now, surely we had it in America too, but when I tell you in Ireland, it was bad. It was bad. So, narcissists always want what they can get from you. Just watch them really closely. I mean, from a learning perspective, it's kind of fun sometimes to watch them, especially if they're really intelligent, like to just watch how their minds work. I enjoy that because I'm a weirdo. But, you know, their what do you call it? Their wheels are turning. And it's really sad because the intentions really at the end of the day are never really real or authentic or heartfelt. They're not. They pretend to be heartfelt. They pretend to be authentic, but they're not. And given what I've learned now, I feel a lot of these agencies, like a lot of law enforcement agencies or firefighters, not just them, I don't want to just pick on them, but a lot of, I guess, you know, if you really looked at the etymology of agency, that would be interesting. But it's like, it's narcissistic in nature, you know, it's like dominating. So anyways, I feel particularly motivated to talk about this one. It's always any scam is narcissistic in nature, and somebody could be involved in scamming people and not be a narcissist. That's the crazy thing. But anytime there's ill will toward other people or a motivation of exploitation, that's narcissistic. Whether a person's knowingly doing it or not. But narcissists know what they're doing. They do. And there's always, it's that old saying, and in fact, to be really honest with you guys, and I think I'm more like untrusting and hesitant nowadays, unfortunately, and I'm working on that. But every time I hear a person say what's in it for me, I get a little nervous. You know, they might be joking around, but if you were with a friend or your husband or your wife, and they're joking, maybe they're joking, they're laughing, and they're playing a game with you, that's different. But someone who says that a lot, they're telling you who they are. It's not that you should never ask for something or never ask to be compensated or whatever it is, you know, you should be able to ask for things. But if it's more like if it's imbalanced, that's a problem. So I've already just thrown out so many ideas. It's really got my mind turning. I hope this is helpful, and I hope that you like and subscribe if you choose. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.